Hello, everyone. This is Mrs. Hovey, and I'm going to introduce you to a book that I read during our break. It's called A Very Large Expanse of Sea, and it's by Tahara Mali. Now, forgive me if I'm saying this incorrectly, but is it Sharon? He looked up, looked me directly in the eye, and I said, "It's Sharin." Ah, my teacher, Mr. Weber, didn't even try to pronounce my name again. Welcome. I didn't answer him, so he smiled. You understand that this is honors English class. I hesitated. I wasn't sure what he was expecting me to say to such an obvious statement. Finally, I said, "Yes." He nodded, then laughed. "Sweetheart, I think you might be in the wrong class." I wanted to tell him not to call me sweetheart. I wanted to tell him not to talk to me ever as a general rule. Instead, I said, "I'm in the right class," and held up my crumpled schedule. Mr. Weber shook his head. Even as I kept smiling, he kept smiling. "Don't worry, it isn't your fault. It happens sometimes with new students. But the ESL office is actually down the... I'm in the right class, okay?" I said the words more forcefully than I intended. I'm in the right class. Have you ever felt judged or misunderstood because of how you look, or sound, or where you're from? A Very Large Expanse of Sea takes place in post 9/11 and is set mostly in a white suburb somewhere in the United States. The main character, Shirin, is a 16-year-old Muslim girl whose parents move from place to place looking for better jobs and better schools for their children. She and her older brother, Navid, have attended several high schools, but her experiences are different from those of her brother. She experiences prejudice and misunderstanding because of her race, religion, and the hijab she wears every day. Islamophobia is part of her daily life. She endures rude stares, degrading comments, and even physical violence because she is a Muslim living in the United States shortly after 9/11. Her brother Navid starts a breakdancing club and asks her to join. She has always been interested in breakdancing and even knows some basic moves. The other members of the team question whether she can dance with a hijab on her head. They enter the school's talent show, and she surprises everyone, even herself. She meets Ocean James, a star basketball player, when they become lab partners in biology while dissecting a cat. Shireen is unapologetic and headstrong. Ocean is quiet and apologetic about his actions and his words. Though Shireen and Ocean come from dramatically different worlds and experiences, she is Muslim and brown-skinned, and he is white, and they bond almost immediately. He patiently gets to know her, and they fall in love. Both Shireen and Ocean experience xenophobia and bigotry when their romantic relationship becomes public. This book is a semi-autographical novel based on the author's own experiences being young, brown, Muslim, and a woman shortly after 9/11, and her relationship with a white young author, Ransom Riggs, who wrote the Miss Peregrine books. This book is about cultural differences, struggling to find acceptance, and strength it takes to face persecution. Tahara Mali is an Iranian-American author of primarily young adult fiction. She grew up in Orange County, California, and she's the author of the popular series Shatter Me, which is a dystopian thriller series about the life of Juliet, a teenage girl with the power to kill and paralyze people with her touch. Mali has also written a handful of novellas and 3 other novels. A Very Large Expanse of Sea is her most recent.